I'm gonna keep my backpack up here so I can.
I need you to stay in your seat, please.
Comfy.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
1, 2. All right, 3.
Simmer, would you stop talking about yourself?
Go adopt a life in that box.
Hopefully, some homeless man will pick you up.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, that's the trash.
True that. True that.
We lost our friends. It's okay. I can get you another friend.
You have no friends, Semhar.
I have a bunch of friends. But then why are you talking to her?
Yeah, true. Why do you want to talk to me when you don't want to be my friend, Crystal?
Leave me alone. Rather the person.
Answer's live streaming, so
Screaming, live screaming. Wow.
If you would like to come around, you can come get it.
Huh?
Break it.
Is that what you're asking me?
I don't take compliments. I tell them to go.
Telling me.
You don't take compliments, you take
Well, I'm telling you what the next step is.
True that.
Because right now, they're not putting up the money.
It is Wednesday, my dude.
Don't you do it.
How can I? I'm in the middle of a live stream.
oh my goodness.
You live with idiots. Get used to
Why are you talking about stars? Considering you are a superstar.
Three, 6, 9. Damn, she's fine. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, one more time.
Say no one cares about a stupid star. Just say that. Stop.
It's Alexis.
I just said it.
Wait, no.
3, 6, 5. Damn, she's fine. Da-da-da-da-da-da, one more time. 3, 6, 5.
Considering you.
3, 6, 5. Damn, she fine.
So
No, sir, I need you to go back to the
Hey, Samar. 3, 6, 5. Damn, she's fine.
wait.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, say it again. What? What I told you to say.
Oh shit. He's there. Shit.
Boy, right.
You wanna meet him?
No, not really.
Bitch.
Where?
Oh shit, it says FBI. Open up. Jaren, when did you become the FBI?
She can play.
No, she's been in school. What's the
Ready, set,
Noel, quickly come in.
dude? I swear to God.
Water. No, have a
Please
seat.
save me someone.
All right.
Somebody
away from this.
Great.
Okay.
There's no secret. I am not Miss Noel.
Shy.
I'm not making excuses. I will not repeat myself.
No, it wasn't.
You know why? 1, close your mouth, please. I have taught from pre-K all the way to high school. In high school, they're not going to tolerate all of this. That's why the dropout rate is so high. So you need to get it together. We're repeating the narrative too much, and you're embarrassing yourself and your family.
I don't
And
have a
some of you are
family.
acting like you don't know how to follow directions and how to be respectful. Don't do that. Okay? I know you're excited about the break. We all are, and we're ready, but we still have academic
Academical tutoring.
Okay? So, listen carefully, because I'm only going to come around one time for this. It took us long enough for me to collect just this.
Stop.
At this time, your paper that you worked on,
I
please
said
make
stop.
sure you have your name written on the sheet. Stack it nice and neatly in the center of the table. I'm gonna come around one time to collect every table, pack of papers, and then that's it. So please make sure it's nice and neatly stacked together, please. Thank you.
It's 1:39. So no. Murderer. Midnight's in school right now. I can't get her. I'm gonna slap you.
Wait. All you have to do is be patient. All right. People are not going to baby you when you leave the TV show. Y'all need to learn.
That's my Science A teacher. Science A teacher. I'm in 7th period right now.
Rodrigo?
And I'm not supposed to be on my phone.
Because you still get that 15.
No!
Is that not common logic?
That hurt!
So the
I think just wait for me to come back this time. Fill it out.
Yeah, about that. We're all busy. Sorry.
All right, let's be careful. I've already come around and collect the papers.
Yeah.
With the exception of one person, no one else is going to the restroom right now, so don't ask, okay?
I get
Now, I already have that one person that's going, hands down.
I said, can I get
So
one?
listen carefully, excuse you. One thing you will have to learn, I don't baby you because guess what? When you walk outside these doors, they don't baby you. And if you haven't learned, you will learn it the hard way. You may think it's funny, but watch the news. Now, thank you. I've collected everyone's paper who had it out in the center. At this time, the next thing we're supposed to do on the agenda is supposed to watch a video about the Chesapeake, it said Chesapeake canned oysters save the bay. Okay?
877-241. Luna. What the fuck am I doing?
I think you're psychotic.
I'm actually a sociopath.
I'm already a psychopath.
Do you even know what a sociopath is?
No.
Yeah, we all knew that.
Why did the teacher make me sit here? Just explain. This table's weird.
877-241. Luna.
Then stay at this table.
Who can save the bay? Fish
Save
can.
the bay. No, they cannot. Put a line save the bay. No, they can't. But can I save the bay? Yes, you can. Actually, you can.
It got darker.
But I don't want to.
You're not gonna lose her. I promise.
Like you.
All right. So take a look. By now you should read your name. I'm going to go to begin the video. The talking stops, please. Pay attention.
I know. My mom is a therapist.
And bring her to me.
Today on Earth Focus, a special on the Chesapeake Bay. Filmmaker Sandy Cannon Brown and her new film, Spat, bringing oysters back to the bay. Coming up on Earth Focus.
My husband Omer and I have lived at least part-time on a tributary of the bay for about 30 years. So I love cruising on the bay. I sail on the bay. And I love discovering all the things the bay has to offer. It's my backyard, it's my playground, so it's personal to me. Despite all sorts of efforts and legislations and good intentions, the bay is still dry. In fact, on our dock, I was just noting yesterday when I went out and looked down, we have a dead zone right at our dock. There's nothing growing there. When most people think about the oyster, They know the stories of the oyster. They know the story of the waterman and all of their problems over the years. But they don't know so much about the ecological value of the oyster. It's a great filter of the bay. It's responsible in some ways for the health of the bay. And one of the most interesting things to me was that an oyster can filter 50 gallons of water a day. And what it actually...
Okay, stop there. So the first part, it says, what grows in a dead zone? What grows in a dead zone?
All things.
Nothing. Everything there is dead.
Yeah.
So the answer for number 1 is nothing. Number 2, oysters can filter blank gallons of water a day. Eric? Yes. What did it say? 3? No, it didn't say 3. Yes. 50 gallons. Excellent. 50 gallons of water a day. All right, so listen carefully to the next 2 questions. What do oysters eat? And when you get too much algae, it smothers the blank, and it keeps out the blank and stops photosynthesis. Okay, watch.
It means is that the oysters eat algae. And when you get too much algae, it smothers the oysters, it keeps out the sunlight, you can't do photosynthesis. And if we can support the ecological value of the oyster as much as the consumer value, we're doing a great service to the bay.
Okay, stop there. Number 3.
Algae.
What do oysters eat?
Algae.
Algae. Excellent. Number 4. When you get too much algae, it smothers the what? Oysters. And it keeps out the
Sunlight.
excellent. The sun or the sunlight and stops photosynthesis. Excellent. So the next question you want to listen for, it says the state of Maryland allows oysters to be harvested by tongers during which months? You also want to listen for how many inches can oysters be when they are harvested? All right, pay attention.
It's the first day of oyster season in Maryland. The tongers are out in full force in Broad Creek, the tributary of the Eastern Shore's largest river, the mighty Choptank.
Hand tonging is a traditional method of harvest. It takes somebody who is tough and has a great love of the water to do it. They enjoy being who they are, what they are, where they are, and doing what they're doing. It's a pretty good way to spend your life.
You get up early, you get to see things that people who work in offices don't ever see. You feel self-rewarded. You know, it's good. It's good.
You're your own boss, and you can go when you want, quit when you want, start when you want. If I had to start all over again, I'd probably do the exact same thing.
Well, Kurt's right that he's his own boss, within the limitations imposed by the state of Maryland. He can fish for oysters from October 1st through March 31st, from sunrise until 3 p.m., except in January, when he can tong oysters until sunset, which is not much later than 3. He's limited to 15 bushels per day per person, or 30 bushels per boat, and the oysters he catches have to be at least 3 inches. While the hand tongers work the shallower waters of Broad Creek, divers and patent tongers with hydraulic controls and larger rigs search for oysters in deeper waters. In November, the power dredgers join the tongers for the rest of the season and are bound by even stricter regulations. Dredgers include the few remaining skipjacks that once filled the bay. Under sail, skipjacks can haul in 150 bushels per boat, but if they use motorized push boats, which most working skipjacks do, they can only dredge oysters 2 days a week.
And the draw of being a waterman was,
Okay, let's stop there for a second. All right, so for number 5, which month? No one else is going water and to have a state. No one else is going anywhere. All right, so here we go. Word of the month, October what? Excellent. Make sure you have them written down. October 1st to March 31st. And how many inches can the oysters be where they are harvested? 3. Excellent. 3 inches. Good job. Okay, so you take a look. The tonguers, they're holding this thing. They're going like this, right? What do you think they're doing? What's going on? They're actually scraping the bottom of the ocean. It's like a net down there. So the oysters, what they do is that they attach themselves to something on the floor, okay? And they don't move once they attach themselves. So they're just kind of basically scooping it up into the net, okay? I know Ms. Owens earlier talked about, which I'm horrible with using chopsticks. Anybody really use regulation? Rules, excellent, rules, okay? And after that, it says the graph measures the amount of oysters in millions of blank. All right, watch and follow.
that big day. And that's been taken away through regulations, and it's very difficult. It's a lot more regulations, a lot less profit in the business, a lot less opportunity to have big days. They're very regulated. No matter if you're able to catch $1,000 worth of oysters, where you could do that in the past. You're scheduled, you're gonna make $300 at the best, no matter how hard you work. You're stopped at 300.
There's been a long history of tension between watermen and state government over fishery management and regulation. Why? Because watermen want fish, and the state wants to save the Chesapeake oyster from extinction. It's a complicated situation.
They put new restrictions on everything, just that every time you go out, every year, you know, and they probably don't want us out there, to be honest with you.
As watermen thaw Broad Creek, millions of oysters remain off limits in the next tributary, Harris Creek.
One of the key strategies for expanding the bay's oyster population was to establish and protect a network of contiguous oyster sanctuaries throughout Chesapeake Bay. In 2010, the department set aside 24% of the bay's good oyster grounds to be permanently protected from harvesting.
Well, the sanctuaries I'm not in favor of because it took 25% of our bottom away from us, but it was 75% of the most productive bottom that we had. So I mean, it really put an impact onto the commercial fishery. I believe that we could achieve a better effect by having a managed reserve, and they could be opened up when you have your market, like just before Thanksgiving for your Thanksgiving orders, and for Christmas for your Christmas orders, and that would really help the industry.
Because they do get open for harvest periodically, you're not going to have a development of the three-dimensional reefs that you would get over time in a permanent sanctuary where that vertical growth of oysters is allowed to build upon itself over time and provide that three-dimensional habitat. But everything's a compromise. I think you need to mix in a consideration for the fisheries and a consideration for the ecosystem.
I understand waterman's frustration of seeing areas that they can't work that have oysters, but the ultimate goal is long-term survival of the resource and the lifestyle that it has supported.
There have been oyster regulations in Maryland for over 100 years, and there's always been resistance from the watermen. But with a public resource, it has to be managed for everybody, not just for a select few people.
Oysters are important from a commercial point of view.
Okay, I'll stop there for just a second. We haven't answered tonight. All right, what's number 7? What do you want to finish Women want to fish. What does the state want? Yes. Excellent, beautiful. Save the oysters from extinction.
What is it?
Extinction. They want to save the oysters from extinction. All right, beautiful. And what is the long-term goal for oyster regulation?
Like trolls?
To save the what?
The
Oysters.
Oysters, that's it.
Save
The
us.
Survival of oysters. Survival of oysters. No one's going anywhere. No baths, water. You're good. Just sit for a few. You're about to leave in a few. All right. So here we go. We're going on to number 9 and 10. 10 says the primary pollution problem in Chesapeake Bay is blank and blank.
Sustained the fishery, they've sustained a livelihood for people for hundreds of years now. They're also extremely important ecologically.
Sadly, the number of the bay's native oysters is estimated to be about 1% of historic peaks. From an ecological perspective, that titanic loss of oysters is a disaster for the health of the bay.
We're trying to achieve an increase in the
All
oyster.
right. That was the answer for number 9. The graph measures the amount of oysters in millions of what? What did it say? Go back and look. Look at the graph.
Years. Months.
They aren't headphones, they're earmuffs, dumbass.
Or it is long-term survival of the resource and the lifestyle that it has supported.
There have been oyster regulations in Maryland for over 100 years, and there's always been resistance from the watermen. But with a public resource, it has to be managed for everybody, not just for a select few people.
Oysters are important from a commercial point of view. They've sustained the fishery, they've sustained livelihood for people for hundreds of years now. They're also extremely important ecologically.
Sadly, the number of the bay's native oysters is estimated to be about
Millions of what?
Mating.
Bushels. Bushels.
Mating
Write
oysters.
that part down real quick.
Bushels. Samara, what are you doing?
Everyone has the part written down? Okay, we're gonna go right here real quick. Okay.
Oh,
When that's it, so they're going to put all the oysters inside the what? The bushel.
The primary pollution problem in Chesapeake Bay is nitrogen and phosphorus. And what they do is stimulate a severe overabundance of microscopic plants called phytoplankton or algae.
There's too much algae in the water that shades out seagrasses and bottom-dwelling plants, and they start to decay, and when they decay, it uses up oxygen, and then other things start to die.
That results in a large volume of the bay in the deeper water that has no oxygen or insufficient oxygen to support higher life. We call it the dead zone. And this can be up to 40% of the volume of the bay in the summer. So this is a severe assault.
So the oysters are removing that algae, clearing up the water, that lets sunlight penetrate deeper to seagrasses and other fun-growing plants that can photosynthesize. So the oyster you remove from the system, the less filtration power you have.
All right, stop there. Let's take a look. All right, so with number 10, the primary pollution problem in Chesapeake Bay is what? Yes. No, we try to. The primary pollution problem. Nitrogen and what? Phosphorus. Excellent. The first one is nitrogen. So phosphorus. Phosphorus, nitrogen, Nitrogen. That's nitrogen. Phosphorus, all right, I'll give you a hint. The two letters that blended together makes the F sound. What's the letter? PH, good job. So it's PH, O, S, PH, O, R, O, U, S. Phosphorus.
You're flattering yourself.
No, it doesn't have it. As the next, the pH makes the F sound, like phone. Phone spelled hard.
I'm on BRB. You did that to yourself.
Okay, here we go.
What?
I don't know which. Okay, now. The next thing, Ethan. I don't know what you're saying. We just spelled it 3 times. Nitrogen. All right, here we go. Listen carefully. Number 11. Number 11. Listen and follow through. Water used to be able to filter the volume. It says water used to be able to filter the volume. But now it's on the scale of a blank. You want to look now.